Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today, I'd like to save you some time in your garden. How are we going to do that? I'm going to show you my top 3 ways to keeping weeds in check. So, I'm out here at the basil bed, the outdoor basil bed, and this is a perfect example of the number 1 way that I keep weeds in check without having to actually weed. Mulching. I know I've talked about it in almost every video that I've made, but mulching is really the easiest, most efficient way to suppress weeds. I mean, number 1, you have to mulch anyway. You can't leave bare soil to bake in the sun, so you're already mulching. The act of putting a thick, consistent, organic layer of mulch in between all your plants, the weeds simply can't get to the light to grow. Now, as you saw in the basil bed, the plants are all very far apart. It is prime territory for weeds to take over. But with 2 inches of mulch on there, the weeds simply can't get a hold. So if you've got a bed with a lot of space in between your veggie plants, especially in the beginning when you first put those starter plants in, there's always lots of space. Make sure to mulch, and you won't have to weed incessantly until your veggies take over. You better not be eating my lettuce. So I didn't have to crawl very far to show you method number 2. I'm right beside the basil bed, and my green leaf lettuce bed is a perfect example of the second way that you can keep weeds in check in your vegetable garden. And that is plant spacing. Don't let there be any empty spaces. A tightly packed, well-organized vegetable bed, there simply isn't room for weeds to grow. They can't get to the light, they can't compete for water, they can't compete for nutrients. All you'll grow is the veggies you want. Tight spacing. You'll grow more veggies without the weeds. Nice. There we go. Now, my final secret to low maintenance weeding, and it's really facilitated by the first 2 methods, is maintenance. Don't let the weeds take over your bed. Make it a weekly routine, just to go out for 10-15 minutes, check your beds, pull up 5 or 6 weeds here or there. Maintenance. It'll save you a lot of hassle in the long run. What's that saying? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It rings true with weeding. A little bit of weeding here or there. Those little tiny baby weeds, they pop up like nothing. 2-3 weeks later, let that weed become a full flowering established plant. Way more of a hassle to get rid of. And this third secret is really facilitated by heavy mulching. The weeds that do get through, you can nab them as they come out. You can count them on one finger because so few will be able to get a foothold. And similarly, with the tightly spaced beds, even if a couple weeds do make it through, it's nothing for weekly maintenance just to pull those guys out. So it's just another example of methods of gardening that benefit from each other. They're not mutually exclusive, they're mutually inclusive. And if you're able to employ those first 2 methods, the third method will be a cakewalk. That is, even if you even need to do it Oftentimes with the heavy mulching and the tight spacing, you simply don't get weeds anyway. And if you do, usually it's near the end of the season where you're about to cut those plants down, put another layer of newspaper and organic matter, if you're doing the lasagna method, and starting over again. The weeds simply never take hold. So that's it for today, guys. Super easy video because there's super easy methods to implement into your organic gardening. Make sure to mulch because you're mulching anyway. Space your plants accordingly. Don't let those weeds have a bare area to get a hold. And maintain. The weeds that do come through, nab them out of there before they get big. It's pretty basic stuff, but it really makes your garden more enjoyable and it really decreases your workload so you can do the other things that you love to do in your garden. So, if you want access to more garden hacks, click subscribe down below. As always, leave some questions or comments. How do you weed? How do you keep the weeds in check? Give us some more secrets. Let's share the information. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.